Hey guys, Megan here. So I got a really good question today and I was trying to do a live video for y'all, but my house hates this section for live videos. So I was losing connection. So I'm sharing this with you here. So for those of you who don't know, I have a 3.5-week-old and he's about to wake up any second. So I'm gonna make this really quick. But anyways, I got a good question about teaching insanity, how to improve your insanity instructor skills, and how to help people both with the modifications, right when you start a new move, and how to show advanced options, and are you supposed to do it to the beat of music? Are you supposed to be off the music? So just to clarify, insanity, remember, in every block there's 3 sets, and we do that for a reason. We have 4 drills in the set, right? And you do each set 3 times within the block. So your first set is really to introduce the move and to help them get that range of motion, okay? The second set, the second time you do each of the moves, then you're getting down to the nitty-gritty. You're really helping them with form and technique. You're helping them improve with that exercise. By the time you do the 3rd set for each of those exercises, that's when you want them to kill it. That's when you want them to own the move, and they're really working then on speed and plyometrics and perfecting it. So in insanity, remember that you're always working both in progression and regression, okay? So when I teach insanity, I like to always start with the modification of the move and then show the advanced option. And for my workouts, I'm doing more advanced stuff, but I have to remember people in class, they need everything in between, right? So you can constantly move back and forth, showing the modifications, showing the advanced options, and everything in between. What I mean by progression and regression: progression, you're starting with the modification and you're moving to the advanced options. Regression, you're going backwards. So when you're walking around your class and helping people individually, it's okay to regress them, right? If you're seeing somebody is doing power jumps and they're landing on their toes every time, obviously their form and technique is wrong, right? Their range of motion is wrong. You got to start them back at the basics with the squat. So don't be afraid to ask people to go back and start with the modification and get their form right, okay? So just remember that that's what those sets are really set up for within the blocks. Remember, each of the blocks has a different theme. The first block, you're going through plyometrics and speed, and so that's what they're working up to by set 3, right? And then for the second block, you're working on strength and stability. So make sure to show those modifications, especially on those triceps moves, right, that are always so tricky for people. The 3rd block, you're working on agility and coordination. That is hard for people. Some of those tricky footwork moves and all those coordinated moves, agility, where you're switching directions. So make sure you're, again, progressing and regressing as needed. You've got 3 sets to do it. And then, of course, for the last block, abs and core, you're showing all different modifications as well. So another tip is you don't have to call it modifications. You can just call it options, showing people their different options, right? Sometimes guys or certain people in classes who are more advanced, if they're doing it wrong, they almost take offense that they need to go back down and master the form and technique part, right? So just show options. Hey, make sure that you get the range of motion right first. Here's how to do the squat before you go into the squat jump, right? That's how you can be a great instructor, just constantly reminding them of their form and technique cues through the options. So I hope that helps you. Use your sets wisely, and y'all have a great weekend. P.S. This is probably the reason why it wasn't working for me live, and this is the importance of doing a recording, because you can just add stuff. So P.S. Remember that we're working both aerobically and anaerobically in insanity. So the anaerobic parts are your power moves and your dig deeper section. So that's another way that you can show modifications and progression and regression in your class. Once you get to that power move, after the 3rd set, boom, that's where you want them to go anaerobic. That's where you want them to lose their breath, right? To work to their max. Same thing with the dig deeper section at the end of class. So teach your class that too. Insanity is one of the easier classes to teach because you don't have to stay with the beat. You don't have to stay on the right leg, whatever. It's not like you have to be able to hear a 32 count to be able to teach insanity well. But there's a lot of form and technique, and there's a lot of science behind the class. So that's where you can really dig in and educate your class while you're teaching them. Okay, I'm really done. Y'all have a great weekend.